the issue one of whatever you've got. And if you got a few different series, you can mix it up however you want to do it.
Right.
It shouldn't be like here's a trade paperback version of everything, like 5 issues in one thing. That's crazy. And I will tell you that I did also give a PDF to, actually it was a bundle. I think it was a bundle to a creator who was selling them. But he's giving me that money. So all he's doing in that regard is like, hey guys, we have cool creators that we know and we interact with, and you can buy their shit too. But if you do buy their shit, that $20 or whatever it is going to go to Tom. So that's a thing that I've been involved in as well.
See, that's different, right? That's
sure.
That's it.
And I'm just saying that's just my experience.
Or that creator's doing the legwork for you. All right. So some of the legwork I have done prior to setting this up was creating a little bit of examples, right? Of utilizing how to get something for your digital comic book, right? I know Calderon loves this. He loves the pre-press work that I go and do before the live stream. But some of the things that I would like to see or hope people are using their digital work for is exchanging it for newsletter or signups, right? They're getting that information that they can trade on for their campaigns to further their works later on. One-for-one swaps with other creators. I believe both Calderon and Tom said something to this regard, an equal exchange. Something for your own sake. You can utilize your own digital comics to add bonus value to other packages that you're creating. Think along the lines of when you go to McDonald's or something like that. When they say, do you want fries with that? Well, do you want another extra digital comic book? Right? Or you can utilize it as a reward for social engagement. Somebody does something great or reposts, posts, tweets, does a TikTok video with something of one of your books, you reward them with digital content, right? Something you don't have to come out of pocket for. But without having that sort of thing that you can trade on later on to help your business grow, I think you are selling yourself short. Because that could be information that you trade on later on in the future. Right? I'm always talking about newsletter. That's my biggest thing. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is building that newsletter, because that's the one thing that you own. And if you're not at least getting that, where you could contact the people that have had their hands on your product, then you're missing out on future opportunities. That is the one thing that you can track, right? You mentioned that earlier, Tom, where there's hopefully, or without that tracking of that information or that backtrack link, how do you know that you're getting any information on it? Right? How many times can we utilize a specific Kickstarter link so we know, okay, this link that I share with this person has led to this many views, sales, things like that, right? You're not even getting something as simple as that. On my last campaign, I did 5 digital swaps. 5 different creators who were all running campaigns at the same time had a 1-for-1 digital swap. And in every update, we updated their campaign along with promoting the fact that one of their books, one of their number ones, was part of a reward package that they may get. There was no exchange for money. Like you said, it was going to be a bonus. It was a stretch goal. But there was an equal exchange of information. When those upper echelon creators are not exchanging that information or dropping the ladder down for those creators, other than, hey, here's your book, it's up here, promote my campaign because your book is going to be part of our digital rewards package, I think that's shitty, plain and simple.
Yeah, I mean that. I think that's the missing piece of what your argument was, is that they're asking you to promote them because your thing is part of it, and that is a wonky thing if there's not a reverse of that. And so, to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure I've ever promoted a campaign that I've had a digital thing just sitting there. Like, I'm not sure I ever truly have. I may have done it sort of on the side, right? But I've never been out like, oh my God, I've got a digital comic available on this guy's stuff. Because here's the thing, that almost doesn't matter because the people that I'm talking to probably already have that. So what do they care? Now, obviously I'm promoting like that other book. Like I'm saying like, hey, X creator has our stuff as part of their thing, but you should check out their thing. But me telling them like, hey, my digital book is part of their campaign is not a sales tactic that makes any sense to me, because the people that I'm talking to are my fans already. So to me, it makes far more sense to do like update swaps, like you said, like, hey, Jay's got Limbo going, and you should check it out because he's got 3 days left. And I tell that to my backers, and then you say, hey, Tom just launched Video Games Day, and you tell that to your backers. Like that makes more sense to me because then you're dropping links, and then you're specifically throwing things back and forth, usually on the same day. Everybody kind of tends to do that on the same day. And I've seen results from that. I've seen results from multiple times. And I've also seen results from doing campaigns that are linked, right? So I did a crossover one time with another creator, and it ended up being that creator's best campaign ever when he was attached to me. And from his side, I pulled a whole bunch of his fans over to mine because I was like, I don't know who these fucking people are. And they were all like, oh yeah, we were on that book and we didn't know who you are. So we came over to your book. So that was a huge thing, is to actually do a crossover. It wasn't a crossover like book, but it was like a crossover event. It was like his book did a thing and my book did a thing, and it was similar. So we could market back and forth on each other, and that worked wildly well. So I think that the giving of a digital property to a random campaign and just letting them use it and flood it to their 100 or whatever backers, whatever, like it's an attempt at marketing that costs you zero. Because again, the PDF already exists. It's been paid for years ago. So you might as well try and get some value out of it, just by letting it sort of go into the wind. I would kind of come at it. But again, I would be very, very specific. I wouldn't just be like, hey, this time it's number 1 and this time it's number 2 and this time it's number 3. No, it would always be Critter number 1, Oz number 1, Penny number 1. You're not getting the series out of me one issue at a time. You're going to get the beginnings, and then hopefully you like it and you are able to understand that there's a website that says bigdoginc.com, and you can go, to the website, or Tom Hutchison's writer. Let me go look him up on social media. It requires a little work on their part, obviously, but if they like what they've read, that kind of work shouldn't be that hard.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Okay.
It's like I just got this from Pat Shand, right? This fucking book is, fuck you, Pat, because it's brilliant. Like, this is so good. And the art in it is so great, right? And I'm like, how do I poach this guy from Pat? Like, but I don't want to like poach it, because I finished this book, Pat. Finish it, because when you're done, I want your artist out of this. So, yeah, tangent, but
watch your back there, Pat. Tom's got a blade with your name on it, buddy. All right, so we got Nita chiming in over here. So they're ready to bump your IP to push theirs, and now you have to work for them too? Nah, fuck you, buddy. And that's my biggest gripe. All right, so yes, you said it was a missing piece. Sometimes when I get fired up, I forget to add all of the pieces, and and that is my biggest thing, right? So I said it earlier. They are utilizing some of the less experienced creators, and I'm not saying this as a knock. I'm just saying they don't have the seasoning that they should, and they may be getting taken advantage of. I just don't want that to happen.
Well, the thing is, though, here's the thing. If you're saying that they're I guess writing on a person's name. If the person's a brand new creator, they have no name to write on.
Right.
I'm not saying writing on their name. No, I'm saying utilize their content, right? Their X amount of dollars to add value to their package without paying it back to them.
I mean, but you don't know what type of positive exposure they may get out of it. You understand? Like if that person is doing a campaign at the same time and gives them a PDF, if they pick up just 10 backers, that could flip their campaign. You understand, in a positive, right?
Yeah, it's almost like a funnel thing, right? It's like, oh, fucking Tyler, I love you, Tyler. I'm going to talk about the funnel, Tyler. I'm going to talk about the funnel, Tyler.
Sales funnel?
So the funnel, right? Yeah, the sales funnel. So like, let's say you put your PDF onto a guy who gets like 500 backers, right? And so 500 backers get your PDF. That's the start of your funnel, right? And that funnel might have been 100 for you, but now it's suddenly 500 because someone else helped you. And so now you've got a chance of those 500 people to start figuring out who the hell you are at a zero cost. Because again, this is a digital file. It's not like you're giving them a free book. That would be false. Don't give free comics out. But the digital file is essentially now a marketing tool for you. And I think if you are careful with how you do it, like again, you're not going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're always going to get number one. But you can change it up each time. So if you've got different books, I'm going to give you Oz, I'm going to give you Penny, I'm going to give you Critter. And suddenly those 500 backers, as they go down their campaigns, 500 backers get Critter, 500 backers get Oz, 500 backers get Penny. Some of those people are going to like some of my books some of the time. And that's the funnel that you're looking for. And that's the value back, right? If the person who's getting 500 backers is telling you, hey man, you need to be talking about my campaign every day, that's bullshit. That's a non-starter. Don't even worry about that. If you want to just sort of say, hey, I'm working with this guy, check out his book, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But as far as like them saying market for me and tell me, all that kind of crap, that's some BS. So again, I think there's levels of this discussion. But I don't think that giving something for free in any context really is a completely bad thing. I think it's all just related to how it's being done. What's your sort of strategy for it? Because we all know that we can sell digital comics, but it's not like giving away a digital comic to a Kickstarter backer or a Kickstarter creator, is like suddenly taking money out of your pocket, right? Because digital comics don't sell enough that we're worried about that at this point anyway. I barely even do digital except for Kickstarters, where we sell them moderately. But so for me, once the book is done, that number, and I won't do like one shots and I won't do like specific things like this video games day. That's never going to be a PDF that I give to anybody because this is a very limited thing. But just like Critter number 1 out of 30 issues, yeah, you can have that. You can send it to whoever you want to send it to, and odds are there's going to be somebody that reads it that's going to be like, fuck yeah, I like that book. Let me figure out who Tom is. Let me figure out what Big Dog is. The internet will work that for you.
We got somebody chomping at the bit to get in on this conversation. So let me open the door for a fellow creator over here. What's up, brother? What's doing, Larry?
Niobu.
What's up, Larry?
The topic is interesting, and I'm just sort of coming up. Maybe me listen for about 5 minutes, right? Okay. And I don't know how long you guys have been going for, so I don't know what I missed. But I'll tell you this: I do give out the digital for free, and that might have to change, right? The reason why we do that is if you buy a physical book from me on Kickstarter, I provide the digital at no extra cost.
Because that's not what we're talking about.
Okay, but yeah. I'll still explain.
Yeah, go ahead. But that wasn't what we were talking about. So we can circle back.
And the reason why we do that is because you might not want to crack open your Near Mint Niobe, but I still want you to be able to read the story, right? But as far as digital sales are concerned, 40% of my last campaign were all digital. 40%. Now Tom's got a theory. It's because I live internationally. I got a different theory. Because the campaign before that, even though we saw a lot of digital, it wasn't 40%, and my theory is just times are tight financially for everyone. Sure. I was listening to your wife, JD, the other day talk about Baltimore Comic Con, and she was just talking about just like how essentially dead it was. And you got Pat Shan, twiddling his thumbs, and she couldn't even give away her free items. That's because, again, like we're in a financial crunch, I'm seeing Kickstarters. that are down, and mine included, that were down $10,000 from where they normally are this past year from previous years, right? What we could do with our digital, and we talked about this the other night, in fact, we had a lengthy off air, is start charging more for our digitals because apparently they're worth more in the sense of their value to people. I've talked to a lot of people about why they get digital, and a lot of it is, convenience. A lot of it is, the affordability of a digital over physical and having it mailed to you. And quite frankly, a big part of it is saving space, right?
Oh,
you want 13 long boxes, or you can have all your reading material in this tiny little device. And that's the fourth reason. People are just used to reading stuff on their phones and tablets now. But I mean, circle back and so I can give an input on the, what it is I missed.
Yeah. You want to fill him in, Tom? Go ahead.
Yeah. So what JD was talking about was making your, like, for example, a 9OB number 1 available to, like for me, if I were to be like, hey, I've got this campaign, and if we unlock, stretch goal number 7, we're going to unlock a bunch of digital comics, Niobe and JD, and, you'll get a bunch of digital comics for free. And JD was kind of looking at that as, what's the point of that? Because there's no sort of kickback from the creator. Like the creator's not talking about, I'm not talking about JD. I'm not promoting JD. It's just, he's got a book in my thing.
Okay, I want to make sure I understand this before you go any further. We're talking about like lump sums of digital books given out free as stretch goals on campaigns, right?
Yeah, which happens all the time.
Love it. I'll tell you why I love it. Because it's exposure for everyone, right? You come to Niobe and we give you a nice digital bundle. And we usually do this with the BC crew, right? You'll get a book from me, you'll get a book from Max, you'll get a book from whoever, right? Sam, whatnot. And on top of that, we also advertise in each other's books. So if you get one of my books from Kickstarter, you're going to see an ad for Sam's 47 Furious Tales. You're going to see a Mary Machine Gun ad and things like that. So we're cross-pollinating. It's on a very small level.
See, but that's different because that's your team. Those are your peers. Those are people that you have a working relationship with.
I don't see the difference.
I do. When I see creators who, and this is something that I mentioned before you signed on, brother, I see creators with a hell of a lot more seasoning utilizing other newer creators' books as part of their bundle, saying that, okay, I'll give you exposure to my X amount of fans, but that's it. That's where it stops, right? They're expecting you to promote your book in their campaign as opposed to dropping the ladder down, all right? I don't feel it's right. I feel that they're taking advantage of lesser experienced creators. Now,
no one's putting a gun to their head saying you have to.
You're absolutely right. Nobody's putting a gun to their head, but they haven't been around the block enough to understand that they're losing out on something there. And this is one of the things I want to talk about is right here. It says I had over 300 people download Megafist 1 2 weeks ago on my site. I then made 120 sales on volumes 2 and 3. Use your number 1s as a lead magnet, right? So for himself, he was able to utilize that to go back down the funnel, right? And that's something that Tom brought up.
Right, but if you are, again, if you're smart, you could give a PDF to these guys that at the end of the issue, you can have all your information right there. BigDogInc.com. Come to the thing. Here's all your social media. Blah, 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 blah. Here's the website. Like you could literally make sales off of that the day those guys finish reading that PDF, because if you get to the end of the book and they're like, holy shit, BigDogInc.com, I'm going to that website and I'm going to see what the hell's there. So, but it's all about designing the PDF accurately to that audience that doesn't know who you are. If it's if you're just throwing out the PDF and it's 20 pages in your cover, then you missed the boat. Now they can still go Google, Niobe or whatever and kind of get information. But the more you can actually just throw in their face, the better your sort of, free hook.
That's the same
I
idea.
was talking about is the key.
That's the same idea as Free Comic Book Day, though. You go to Free Comic Book Day, and they got the tables of free comic books, right? And you get your free comics, you bring them home, and there might be a comic in it, but half of it is also advertisement. You know what I'm saying, right? And there's a reason why they do that. It's free, but we're going to plug ourselves for sure,
Right. Of course. All right, so hold on. Let me drop a few more comments in here before we bring in another guest who's knocking on the door.
Great.
All right. So we got Megafist 1 was given away for free, and Nita coming back with, if anything, it could possibly put money in your pocket, but only the issues number 1. Yes, you don't want to give away the whole cow. You want to give away the little bit of taste, but
just one tit.
Just the tip. So let me bring in another guest over here.
I'm here.
I went through Tyler's entire course of business last night, and I'm still trying to arrange it all in my brain, Tyler.
I'm sorry.
I got
Tyler. No, it was great. It was great. I loved it. It was awesome.
I got Tyler Orwell because we did do that last night. Then I just got done watching Tyler for another hour right before I came here. So
I just like the fact that earlier today Tyler was talking about the hate mail he's been getting on Twitter or the hate videos that they
I get tons, man. I'm
if they're not hating on you, you're not working, bro. And
I hate that. That's what everyone tells me. Like, the bigger you get, the worse it's gonna get. I'm like, well, that sucks, and I think I'm gonna stay where I am.
It's always a bigger target, my friend. Always a bigger
that's
fish.
The thing. People don't want to see others succeed, unfortunately, sometimes.
Yeah, I should just be like, hey, if you think I'm bad, you should go check out this guy. I should just start like redirecting the hate.
Or you get check out JD, man. That's the guy.
Or you get into the topic, Tyler. I just got to tell you, brother, that you are the gift, right? That keeps on giving.
Holy shit! It's Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah. Because that video that you have posted on Twitter earlier is now becoming content for me later on tonight.
Oh, great.
Nice.
I'm Larry's go-to content guy.
Yeah, can I have another hot take, Tyler?
I don't want to. I'm trying to go to bed like at a reasonable time, so I don't want to do a hot take and then get blasted and have to be up all night. Like, fuck you.
So Tyler, drop it on us, brother.
I was just listening. I just told JD, I love his shows. I love Jay Rosario. Once I was done with my interview and I saw you guys were live, my wife was like, hey, once you're done with that interview, you get upstairs. And I saw that you guys were live and went, okay, let me just like listen on to this real quick. So like I put it on and I'm like, oh, this is just this. I'm just eating this shit up. I love this show. And then
thanks.
And then
it's fire, baby. Me and Calderon hate each other.
Then I looked at the baby monitors and like all the kids are asleep. So I went upstairs and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go back downstairs. And I just got the link. She goes, fine, go do it. And I'm like, sweet. No, I loved everything you guys. I will say when I went to go talk to my wife, the last thing I heard of the show's topic was I heard Larry say something about Kickstarters are down. That's the last thing I heard.
I believe they are, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't done enough research, observations. Forget about research.
There's for sure a downswing in the overall element of it.
Not for Tyler. He's the golden goose.
Well, that's what I was about to say. There are people that are not feeling it, though. There's definitely people that are still just trucking right along. I don't necessarily have an answer for why that is, but other than that they've cultivated the audience to a point where the audience cannot live without the product. I mean, that's the goal for all of us is we want audiences that are like, Jesus, when's that next book drop? I want all of that stuff. But there is a downswing in overall percentages of sales. Also, interestingly enough, this year we haven't seen the influx of the amount of projects. Like we've been really squarely in that 250, 260 kind of range. We never broke 300 projects live at any one time like we have in the past 3 years. So there's a trending down in the amount of projects.
Creators aren't able to even make these projects, like get the first 5 or 6 pages or the covers. So they're struggling to even.
Yep.
So is that a good thing that there's not as much traffic?
I mean, to a degree, yes. I mean, anytime you have more visibility for yourself because there's less, things to look at, that's going to be useful for you for sure. It's not at a level that it's like significantly different from standard Kickstarter, though. It's not like we're down to like 200 alive at any given time, like so it's not a significant drop right now. Even talking about 300, like you're down like 40 campaigns, like it's not that big of a thing.
Now, do you think it's because there are other platforms that are doing crowdfunding?
No, absolutely not. There are other platforms, but they are all weak sauce.
Kickstarter is down because Fund My Comic is the new.
Yeah. They're taking away all the business, man.
Yes.
Tyler's trying to get that sponsorship.
Yeah. No.
Crowdfunder is coming.
And that's not a shot against Fun Like Comic, by the way. There's a couple,
not at all.
Couple
No,
guys
it's
that
not.
have gone on there and done fairly well, but in the overall arcing, they're a small piece of dust on the planet.
Wherever you
compared
can
to
make money,
Kickstarter.
more power to you. I feel.
100%.
Right?
100%.
But are those other platforms? Do they promote the numbers the same way Kickstarter does? There's this many 200, 300, 250 campaigns in this specific genre going on right now.
None of them, not even Indiegogo, do that kind of stuff.
No.
Really. I mean, it's Kickstarter is the cream of the crop, and Indiegogo used to be sort of number two. I mean, really, kind of is number two right now. I mean, it's like, why is
It's like
anyone there?
It's like
number
a
two,
distant
like
number two.
TNA
Yeah.
was like number 2 to WWE, though. That's a big drop.
Yeah,
you
big
know
drop.
what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Really, that far down? All right.
Oh, yeah.
We got a couple guys chiming in over here. We got Champe saying, "I once said we should do trailers like printed resumes versions of future comics that could be given out to clients or spread on social media." And some guy named Granda or something like that scolded me. That's not how it's done. That's not the industry. Well, with more live streams going on nowadays, maybe that should be an element or could be an element.
Well, I think he's talking about like printed trailers.
What's a printed trailer?
That's a great question, Larry, and I'd love to tell you about it. Ed Brubacher and Sean Phillips, every graphic novel that they do a 2-page trailer. And what it is it's a 2-page, like they have like a narration, like I thought that my life was going to be like this, but it actually ended up like you turn the page, this, and you see some action scene panels, and then it says coming soon this series. And so they're like, it's specifically these pages are not panels from the comic. They're specifically drawn panels for this trailer, 2-pager, so that you can get like a vibe of the story, get excited about it, see what kind of elements are going to happen.
But if they're not panels from the story, then that could be misleading. Remember like when Rogue One came out and they had like all these shots in the trailer that you never saw in the movie. It's like, where's the TIE fighter and on the in front of the tower that was going to shoot down whoever there?
Well, that's why you say it's a trailer. But here's the thing about the misleading thing. So there was actually a court case that just happened because these 2 viewers saw a movie because they thought Anna de Armas was going to be in it, because in the trailer she had like a one set. They were like, oh, that's her face, and she gets naked in all our movies. And so they went to go see the movie. She wasn't in it. She didn't make the cut. They sued the company saying it's false advertising, and the courts were like, it's a trailer. Like it's a trailer.
But you can take 1 or 2 of those stills, turn them into a print, a trading card, anything like that, and it's still part of the campaign. Right?
Sure.
That excuse me, they don't do campaigns. I apologize. They just go straight to trades, right?
Yeah, they just do straight to trades right now.
Yeah, but the concept is interesting, right? Imagine if you could just do those 2 pages as PDFs, give them away for free, and give away a printable PDF. So it's just these 2 pages, and if people want, they can print them out, right? Peruse them, enjoy them. You have links and all that other stuff. And Ed Brubaker specifically, and those guys, they're selling trades through Image. So they just want you to. They don't even care whether you print them, distribute them. They just want that out there as much as possible, and and they're going to sell as many books as they can sell. Man. I mean, those books are great.
I think some of us are old enough to remember the G.I. Joe half-hour commercials to promote the comic book before the cartoon came out.
Great times,
right?
Well, no, all of that was designed to sell the toys.
Of course, they were trying to skirt around that.
Yeah. The comic and the comic and the cartoon sold the toy.
It was marketed as to sell the comic, which the comic was also selling the toys.
That's right.
We got Paige Alfred saying, hey. We got Del Guzman saying, I see you got on that. Paige coming back with anybody doing NYCC.
No.
I am. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are in New York. I assume that,
Yeah.
you guys would be doing that.
We got Champion coming back. You can also make a trailer using actual panels, but not in the chronological order and with a little change.
Well, listen, every time we do a Kickstarter and we put up a few pages, that's essentially your page trailer, right? I remember helping a young Gage DeWolf put together his Godslayers book on his Kickstarter. And he put up like the first 5 pages, and they weren't the best pages that were selling his book. And so me and Max sort of tore him apart a little bit, and we looked at these pages and like, dude, I said, I've seen all your book. You got some pages here that could attract backers, but you're not using them. Why? He goes, well, don't they have to be in order? And I just did the face palm. No, man, no, you're just showcasing some work to give people a little hint and tease of what's in there. It doesn't have to be chronological order. There's no set standard or rules for this Gage. Like, it just blew my mind, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why you guys were helping them out.
Right. But I mean, like one would figure you would think of these things on your own, but no, we had to tell them that, you don't have to put these in order. What are you doing? Like,
well, to be fair, and I agree with you, because I do the same thing. I think when a lot of new creators, they go, okay, when I show the first 5 pages, I want them to read the first 5 pages, when it's not necessarily, hey, you need to read the first 5 pages. You're saying, hey, these are the moments that are going to happen.
Right. I mean, for us, we don't we're running Kickstarters before our lettering's done, so there's nothing to read. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's still a story to follow.
A flow, right?
Your art is still telling a story. Whereas if you're like, hey, page 1 and page 8 and page 12,
I mean,
and
lettering's usually the last stage.
It can
of
be
the
a little
comic,
choppy,
right?
but
So by the time
I
we get to
understand the
lettering, we're good to go, right? So,
but you look, Calderon, you mentioned that's helping them out. So to bring this back around to the original question, is utilizing somebody else's book as part of your promotion with no form of kickback or equal exchange of information, helping them out or taking advantage of them?
Both.
Well, the thing is, I've rarely seen someone like, how many campaigns have you seen step out and say, you know what, I got this other guy's book that I'm selling, right, or I'm giving away, right, but buy my stuff. I mean,
to catch me up real quick, just I want to make sure I know the topic. Is the topic the people who go, hey, I have a creator bundle, do your book, put your book in my creator bundle, and then all my people are going to get it?
Yes. And Jay is concerned that there's no kickback for that. Like, it's just going into the cloud, and then
to parallel also to parallel it. How many times have we heard creators say, artists, writers, whatever area of expertise you're at, saying, I don't do work for free, right? Exposure doesn't keep my lights on. Exposure doesn't put food on my table.
Except,
you
Jay,
spend thousands of dollars to put this product together.
Except, Jay.
Yeah, can I point
that in this case, the PDF is already paid for. It's already done.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah.
So it's banked. Okay. It's in your back pocket. You can use it wherever, whenever, however. And again, very specifically, like, I wouldn't give the most recent PDF out. Yeah. Always start at the beginning of the series, number one. Yeah. And so there's literally no expense. There's literally no damage to the brand unless you're giving it to somebody that is a jackass. It's literally just, I'm going to take this story. I'm going to put it in the cloud of this guy's campaign. It's going to go to 300 or 400 people that don't know who the hell I am. And then hopefully of those 300 or 400 people, Tyler, the funnel will bring me some people.
and Tom said it. I did like another thing I heard before I left, because I left 2 times. What was Tom said? Also, you need to design the PDF correctly. You can't just go, here's the PDF. You need the QR code. You need the QR code that says, hey, follow me. You need to have everything that's going to get them back to you, because if you don't, you're right. That was a missed opportunity. I'm one of those people that actually I will raise my flag and say, you should do. I'm a very big proponent of free work, though.
I'm going to blow your mind in a second as soon as Tyler's done.
No, I'm saying that's I have a big stance on doing free work, free stuff.
Okay. I'm going to blow you guys' mind. I don't know if any of you heard this. All right. Talking about free work, giving things away for free. Scout Comics just put out a new book, or maybe it's in previews or something, because they're taking orders for it. Right. The issue, I can't think of the title. I'll have to look it up. Scout Comics has a brand new issue #1 that they are giving to retailers for free. A full issue of a comic for free. Supposedly, they are now having orders for free comics for 100 and some odd thousand copies for free. right? And so their thought process is that if we can get this into enough hands and funnel that fucking top out as far as we can, that we'll have enough of these books to get into our fans' hands so that they'll be like, holy shit, this is a cool thing. Let me get number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we now have moved from giving away a PDF for free to actually giving an actual real full-size comic for free in the retail market. That's happening right now.
But that's been going on. Well, we have free comic book day, right? So that's the equivalent. I mean,
yeah, but those are usually like either reprints or
Right.
like an 8-page thing with a bunch of ads.
I mean, listen, back in the day, Mouse Guard, I used to get little hardcover books.
Oh,
I don't
plus
know if you remember
also
those.
free comic book day books are not free.
Oh, no, I know. The
So
retailers.
the retailers.
Yeah, this from Scout is legitimately like, how many do you want? And we'll send them to you.
And then those
Well-
retail, they have the incentive to go, hey, tell their customers, hey, you're going to want to put this on your hold. And now they have that book on their hold. So then they order that much. And so when the person goes back to their retailer and the person goes, here's issue 2, and you have to pay for it. This is what the customer is going to think. I got issue 1 for free. I can spend $3 to pay for issue 2. And now they're hooked. They're either going to continue reading it or they're going to cancel after 2. But at least they now make their money back through issue 2.
Yeah,
And then
that was the part of the talk was the attrition rates. They were so like, we all know attrition. You sell 5,000 copies, you sell 2,000 the next time. So they're trying. I mean,
They're trying to raise that up.
And also they have variant covers. The variant covers are not free, right? So if you want the variant covers, you still have to pay for those. But this just your basic A cover. How many do you want? We'll send them to you.
All right. So now that we're mixing the worlds of crowdfunding and direct market sales, would we consider that bundle in somebody else's offering, somebody else's campaign, the equivalent of being on a store shelf and being top of the funnel, first interaction with your product, that maybe you can bring somebody back down to lead to full-time sales?
That's the awareness top, right, Tyler?
Dude, Tom has just been using that funnel thing this whole night, and I'm just like, but like now that you know it, it makes sense, right?
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Especially when
Sales
you
funnel?
understand the levels of it. Yeah.
Yes. Sales funnel is key, dude. Right? And unfortunately, not many creators understand that. You got to understand business. You do, whether it's College Business 101 or Hard Knocks by losing a ton of fucking money. You gotta understand business.
I know a lot of creators who've lost a ton of fucking money and they still don't know business.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like Jay, here's the thing, right? If I was like Jay and JD and Tyler and Niobe, would you guys give me your number 1 of a book to send to my fans that may not know who you are as a stretch goal? We reach $10,000. We're unlocking 5 digital copies that you all get. Would you do it?
100%.
course.
And not only for you because you're my friend.
Yes, there's the key.
But hold on now, right? Not only for him because he's my friend or Tyler, for any one of you guys. And I've done it. Hell, I think I had a book, my Niobe number 1 in your wife's campaign at one point, JD, right? Okay.
Yeah, probably.
No problem doing that. I have no problem actually doing that for anyone. You want to give away my digital copy of Niobe number 1, which I give away for free to basically anyone who asks anyway. Sure, go ahead and do that, right? Is it going to lead to big sales and things coming my way? Probably not. Maybe out of like the 300 people that get the digital bundle, maybe 10% of them actually go through and read the books if we're sort of lucky. You know how many digital comics I got that sit in the folder right now that haven't been read?
Well, that's why it's important, going back to what we talked about last night, Tom and Larry, about our ideal customer profile. I will give, like, if I gave my book to any one of you guys, I'm actually I'm expecting 0 anything from it, just because how specific my book is to, like, it's more like anime and manga, and you guys don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But if I had a manga or anime creator go, hey, Tyler, do you want to do it? Absolutely, because we have the same type of customer. And so I have a more of a chance. Like, I don't do a lot of Kickstarter update swaps because most people don't follow my same niche. But the few that I have done, it's with people who make anime and manga, and I always see a return on those ones. And those creators go, I saw a return too, because we're making the same book. We're having the same kind of ROI.
And you're using a targeted link, though, correct? A specific link for the post that you're exchanging with them. Yes.
Yeah. So we can track it and whatnot.
So you can track that, and that's again part of the keys of what I'm getting at, right? You're in somebody's bundle that you don't know.
Yes.
And you're not getting that kickback. You're not finding out how many came back through the funnel to go to you.
Correct. So yeah, I will agree with Jay on that part with the you like that like you need data. You need data to like say that this was a good idea or not. And just to be like, oh, it felt like it, like, oh, I got something. You can't actually give me the exact number or percentage of people of that 400 that you actually converted. And so I can see from like a business standpoint why you might not, but also it's a digital PDF.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like it didn't hurt. Like let's
Right.
so you send it to 400 people, and let's say you got no kickback. You basically, this is what I would always tell my friends when we go out to party. I go, you see that hot girl? I'm gonna go talk with her, and they go, why? And I go, because the worst thing that she can say is no, and I'm already single. So it's the same thing with putting your book in these bundles. You didn't have those customers reading your shit anyways.
Okay.
The worst case scenario is that you don't have them reading your stuff anyways, and the only thing you lost was maybe 2 minutes of sending out a PDF.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing is there's really no downside to doing it. There may not be as big of an upside as you're hoping for, Jay, but which I totally understand, but there's literally no downside. Just like Tyler said, if 500 people read my book and they still don't want it, I'm in the exact same place that I was before I sent the PDF.
Well, look, let me put it to you this way, right? I run my next campaign. I'm going to open the door to all you guys if you want to put in a PDF into a bundle. Would you not want the potential chance of having Niobe readers check out your stuff?
Maybe.
Of course.
Right. But okay, going back to the targeted data that Tyler was talking about, if Critter didn't work for this campaign, then you know what? On the next one, I'll give you Penny. But unless you know what kind of data comes from that, you can't make that shift.
I can always make that shift just because I can. You know what I mean? Like if, for example, you had Limbo, right? If you did it for Limbo, I would have given you Penny instantly because that's a crossover. That's a crossover thing. Larry does Niobe. That's a superhero thing. I'm going to give him Critter first, but that doesn't mean that when he does Niobe again, I don't give him Oz. I don't give him Penny. I don't give him something else that I do just to give his audience another taste of all the different things that I do. There's really no way to do it incorrectly. Now, obviously, we all talk about analytics and data and wanting to understand the result. But at the end of the day, if you don't have that data, that still doesn't mean it was a bad idea. It still doesn't mean that it didn't work in some context. I know for a fact that I've had people come in from other places just because they've ended up telling me like, hey, I found you because of this. And so if that's the case, then I know other people are finding me because of that. Whether they're buying or not is a different thing. But at minimum, I'm getting the eyeballs, and there are those small percentages that are like, I found your book because I was on this thing.
Yeah, you're gonna cast the line out into the ocean water, and you're gonna see if any fish bite. I mean, that's all you're really doing.
Is this discussion about the free comics? Is this just specifically talking about the Kickstarter ones where it's like going into bundles, or is this stop giving away your digital comics for free in general?
It's a starting point. Let's see where it goes. Let's explore what works, what doesn't, what shouldn't.
Well, I think Jay's primary concern is like we just talked about. It's all the data. Like you're going to give it to somebody, they aren't going to talk about you probably. So what is the ultimate result from you giving them?
Okay. So I'll give you some. So that's just the Kickstarter stuff. And I agree. Because right now with the Kickstarter discussion of throwing the bundles, none of us can actually say the data of if any of it's actually good, because none of us can actually say with numbers that it was good. We can all say we know it worked out, but you can't give like a hard percentage.
Right.
With the way that Amazon works in the publishing world is you don't even promote yourself on Amazon in the publishing side of things until you have your third or fourth book out. And the reason why is this is if you put your first book out, you're not going to make any money, and you're not going to make any money until your third book. But the way that Amazon readers want is they love series. And so what you do is when you release your fourth book, you then start using Amazon's promotional tools that are free to use, and you make your you either make your first book 1 or 2 for free, like both of them for free, and then you make the third book 99 cents, and then you get people hooked, and then they spend like the full price on book 4, and then after that you're now ranking and whatnot. So when I put The Girl with the Mega Fist on Amazon, It's in the shonen manga category. That's One Piece. That's Naruto. That's all the big players. Okay. I put Girl with the Mega Fist, and I just was playing around. I wanted to see what it would do, just me doing the free promotion, even though I only had book 1. My book ranked in front of all of those books. I was the #1 shonen manga. Only I didn't make any sales. It was just purely based because I was free. So many people were just downloading my book for free. But how Amazon's system works is they will notify everyone that's ever bought your stuff if they have quote unquote purchased it, even if it's free. So I haven't spent the time because I've been so busy putting my other stuff on there. But I know that I sold for free. 1,000 people downloaded The Girl with the Mega Fist on Amazon. 1,000. So it's like, Tyler, you made no sales. No, because once I put book 2 out, Amazon tells those 1,000 people, hey, you downloaded book 1 for free. Do you want to see book 2? And that's like free marketing that I don't have to do. And then if I do the same, so basically the goal with Amazon, with these publishers, these writers, is you just keep doing all these free promotions, and you're basically building out the biggest net. So like some of these people are like they gave away their book 1 to like 100,000 people, but. And then that's that funnel. And as it's going down, they're just getting more and more sales as more and more people are getting the message. So every time they put a new book out, those 100,000 people are going, hey, you bought this book at one point. They just came out with a new book.
So Tyler, I got a question for you. So let's say if you're doing a series of books, right? Like I'm doing, like Larry's doing, like Tom's doing. So would it be suggested to put out, like, let's say a first issue, a 24-page book for free? And then maybe the second issue for free? Or would it be better to put the first trade for free?
I mean, it both, honestly. I don't know how floppies work. This is mostly just trades and novels. Right. Specifically, like I know this specifically in the novel world. I can't say I have any data on the graphic novel format because I don't know anyone who does it. But having worked at a publisher and us doing these promotions with our fiction books and having sold stupid money on those, I know that's how you do it. There is a group called, have you guys heard of the group 20 Books to 50K?
No.
Let me tell you guys about this. This will get you, all of you guys will jizz. I promise you will jizz in your pants tonight, right now. I will make you jizz. Okay. So what this group is, what this guy found out.
No, man.
Okay. So this guy, he's an indie author. He puts his book out on Amazon, and it makes and he's like, oh, that was fun, and he just puts it out. This was at like and he starts making $50 a month, and he goes, oh, nice. And then it starts making $100 a month. He goes, oh, okay, and it just regularly is doing $100 a month. Now my math is going to be terrible for the story, but I just need you to believe me. So then he goes, oh, interesting. So then he writes a second book naturally. And then eventually that second book gets to $100 a month as well, on top of the first book still doing $100 a month. So he's like, okay. And he goes, if these are continuing to do $100 a month, how many books do I need to put out to get to enough money that I'm making a month that I can just quit my job just because I'm writing my books? And he had this theory that if he had 20 bucks, he could make 20 books, he could make $50,000 a year, and he could quit his job. So he does that. It ends up being what he finds out is that it's not $50 a year. It was 50,000. It wasn't 50,000 a year. It was 50,000 a month. He started making, and it was because of this formula that he figured out through the Amazon's algorithm. And he started telling other authors, and then they started doing it, and then they started making. And so I'm part of this 20 Books to 50K group, and I'm telling you, you'll throw up because the point of the group is you have to show your receipts. You have to show your payout. And to see these people, what they're making, you just go, holy shit. They're like, I had a really terrible month. I only made $100,000 this month on Amazon. And you're like, holy shit. Like, and someone's like, it's okay. Like you'll get up next month. Like that's the conversations that these groups of people are having.
You made me jizz, but
that's why I'm off camera.
You also introduced another level, another revenue stream that a lot of independent creators aren't following. Right.
Well, you got to understand, he's also talking prose. He's not talking comics.
Yeah. Correct. I'm talking prose.
He's talking prose.
I am, though.
Completely different beast.
I just got a template to get my books on Amazon. I paid someone to give them to me because like I've been trying for 2 years, and like their AI is like, your template's wrong, and I'm like, it's your fucking template. And I had a friend. He said, hey, their template's wrong. I figured it out, and I was like, oh my gosh, just how much? Just tell me the template. And so I have this template now. And I'm gonna see, like, I'm always someone who's like, I'm not gonna say go on Amazon, you're gonna make $1 million. So I'm gonna put my stuff up there and then give me like a year and I'll go, it was worth it. I'm on a beach. But with these pros, what they learned is that you just are constantly giving out free books. Like you are constantly giving out free books, and that's how you're growing. And so, like I said, like 2 weeks ago, I used my newsletter and my Twitter, and I said, hey, use this promo code Growth the Megafist Volume 1, 100% free. I did that. I had 300 people download the Growth the Megafist Volume 1 for free on my site, which led to 120 people. So that led to 300 people joining my email list, which I can get them somewhere down the road. But it also got me 120 immediate sales for volumes 2 and 3, whether those were physical books, whether those were digital. I have one person who's every week buying all the variants, which is, thank you so much, person. But
the key to all of this, though, I feel, is it's targeted, right? And it's within your catalog.
Yes.
Right. And
yes, I'm in control.
Everything I was saying at the beginning, I feel some people are getting taken advantage of because that target is not coming back to them. They don't have, like you said, when you came in, they don't have the data to move forward with whatever they receive.
But I don't think it's. I think one, if you didn't, I don't like the word taking advantage, because I don't think they were taking advantage. They signed it. They agreed to jump in on this thing.
Tom? No gun was put to the head.
No gun was put to their head. Speaking of guns, I'm like right now, like cleaning mine.
Whoa.
While we're talking, if this conversation goes south, I will load it. But so Jay, I'm watching you.
If you can shoot that far,
fucking turn bad already.
But see, that's the targeted thing, right? That's like what I just said. Like if you're doing Limbo, I understand that I need to give you Penny for Your Soul. If Larry's doing Niobe, I understand I need to give him Critter. So if somebody's doing, sci-fi, there's no reason for a creator to give them like a Western or something, right? Because it's probably not a targeted thing, right? So, but that's just the creator needing to understand, like, I don't think there's value with that book that you're making, because your audience is probably not going to like my book. But that doesn't preclude anyone from just saying, like, holy fuck, like this was a cool, weird PDF that I got in this bundle. Okay. And let me see what's going on. Well, so at the end of the day, when there's zero cost, because again, we're talking about a book that's already in the bank, it's done, it's just a digital file. There's absolutely no cost and there's no downside. It's not like there's going to be some repercussions of, oh, I got this PDF book and man, I'm going to tear this guy down because I don't like what this, like that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? There's no repercussions to just giving a book to somebody to say, send it to your people.
So I've been really, while you were talking, I was really bothered by Jay when he said taken advantage of. And I was like, my first thought was, you're not getting taken advantage of. But then I just thought, what if someone, and I'm assuming I'm either missed this part of the conversation, and this is what Jay's alluding to, that while I'm marketing my campaign, I go, hey, you back my book, I've got 20 other ones I'm going to give to you for free. And now I'm getting all of the dollars for people backing my book. And then the people think it's like, I'm using your book as my marketing quip, and you're not going to see anything of that. And I think that right there, for me, if they're saying, hey, back my book, you're also going to get 3 other books for free. Okay. That's a deal. And now people are like, oh, I'm going to get this deal. And then they never even read your book. They just used you. That, to me, it's still not necessarily getting taken advantage of, because you did agree upon it. You did agree upon the terms.
Well, and there's no effort involved. It's not like you went out of your way to do anything.
Here's the link
like,
to the Dropbox.
Here's a link.
I know, but then but then there's still that, like, they were using you for their marketing quips, like,
sure,
you put.
I got a question on all this, and not to interrupt, but I'm dying to ask. So if that is being taken advantage of, and there's no sort of kickback, right? What do you, and I want to ask this directly to Jay, what do you propose the kickback actually be? Should they get some sort of financial compensation? Should they get some sort of similar deal? What would you like to see happen with that?
The easiest thing is a 1-for-1 swap. If I'm giving you a digital book, you give me a digital book, right?
Fair.
That way nobody's getting taken advantage of, and you have the opportunity to explore those same options that the other creator is using with your property.
You should be
No
like, hey,
problem.
then I'm going to do the same thing with your book
Yeah.
on my campaign.
Yeah.
I like, or you know what you can do? You go, I one thing I don't like about these things is sometimes they just throw them out on social media. Send me the Dropbox link and I'll throw it. I think the creator, like if I was going to do it, I think the creator should curate. If I go, I'm making a Bad Girl book, I should go, hey, Tom, I want Critter. I'll pay you $100. Hey, Larry, I want Niobe. I want to send to my backers. I'll pay you $100. I want to license it for my backers. Right. And then
that's a different level though.
Yes. And then after that, I'm curating the comics, the free comics to give to my backers based off of the audience. And I think that's the more professional business way of doing it, because it respects the backers, it respects all the creators involved. But then like that's like, I think that's high level, but even just a step down, I think is Jay's, where it goes, hey, that's fine, you can totally use my book, but I want to use your book.
Well, one would assume that would just be the case anyway. Like it boggles my mind that wouldn't be like a thing.
People are
right?
shitty, man.
Jay, can I put you on the spot?
Of course you could.
Okay.
JD's like, JD's gonna say, Jay, do you remember when you used my book, but you wouldn't let me use yours?
No. Well, see, the funniest thing about this show, right, is that Jay, this is all about what happened to him. Okay.
At one point,
He's mad.
yes, and I see it happening
he's
again.
Mad. He's mad because somebody contacted him, and he gave them the PDF.
I want to hear the story.
And they didn't return it. They didn't return the favor.
100%.
Right.
100%.
So it's like
Fair.
Did you ask them to
fair.
return the favor, or
Right.
did you just expect them to return the favor?
I did, and I even asked. I was ghosted. And then I saw 2 or 3 campaigns later from that creator doing the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Putting it out there.
were they still using your content?
No.
Were they still using?
You know what?
Oh, okay.
To other rubes. I mean, and it's happening, right? And now the trickle down effect is those who have less seasoning are utilizing that example of the way to do business.
I know who you're talking about. I'm just gonna take a guess on who, because I've been seeing us first.
I don't want to shit on nobody. I don't want to shit on nobody.
Yeah, you do. I'll be brave. Where's my gun? Hold on. No, no, I won't. But that's so funny
Do
that
you
like
think that these digital bundles with all these different books on these campaigns are that big of a selling point that's even worth the discussion?
No.
No.
Right?
It's really the topic for tonight.
Well, no, but, okay, but here, okay,
No,
but
it's
I
a good
think there's
topic,
another
but
element.
I think what Larry's, it's a good point. I mean, when I'm backing a Kickstarter, I am totally unconcerned with the idea that if I back and we reach a goal, I'm going to get 50 digital. Like it just doesn't mean anything to me. I might look at them certainly, but it's not a selling point to me in any regard.
Because it's the socks in a loot crate. I won't buy it.
Yeah.
But if it's
Jay,
extra,
I have a question.
That's
When
fair.
you did it the first time with the creator, who I'm guessing, did you think that this, because of that creator and who they are, that this was gonna help you in some way?
No, help me, no, but help add value to what I was offering with the exchange. Yes.
Okay. So I this is where I think that we can be business wise. Okay, the exchange. I think the exchange of the books. I agree with everyone. I don't think it's really necessarily going to do anything. It's not going to move the needle. But I will say, in the creator community, Jay's pissed because he feels like he got like sexually assaulted. Like, and like based that
where did they touch
I mean by that it's a Sean Gordon Murphy Mags Visaggio, where unfortunately you're Mags Visaggio, which I'm so sorry about that. Where Mags Visaggio became friends with Sean Gordon Murphy because she thought, if I'm friends with Sean Gordon Murphy, I'm gonna get further opportunities, and when that didn't pay off. She did a Twitter rant. You're doing a YouTube show, but what I'm saying is, I see what you're saying is, like if I'm a new person, okay, how are you ready for this? When I was brand new, I thought Larry was the shit. I legit was like, I thought Larry was the shit. I was like, this guy
I feel so bad for him.
made.
I'm like, and now look, now Tyler's living in the basement.
Right?
I'm like, I remember going like,
from here.
this guy makes $3,000 on
Right?
Kickstarter. What do I gotta do? And I remember he said, hey, I'm trying to do a swimsuit issue. And I went, if I can get my art in that swimsuit issue, it's gonna be golden. I'm gonna get favors. What I got was you as a friend. But
it is in the book.
Dubious. That's very dubious already.
but what but I see like when you have a bigger creator and they go, hey, you might think as a smaller creator, oh, if I give them my free thing that I've worked my ass off, that like I'm gonna get something, or like I'm like now kind of working with this person, like we're collaborating. And when that bigger person doesn't give you, like you gave them all the access to everything you have, and when they go, thank you, I don't need you anymore, and they're the bigger person, you're like, wait, hold on, like I thought we were friends, I thought we were working together. And it's like, no, you're like, your shit's too good for my people, but you think you can just take advantage and take my free shit. I can't give away your book for free, but you can give away my book for free. And now there's a power dynamic where's that?
Okay.
That's what I'm kind of bringing up.
Or there's one of the unspoken rules of business is giving somebody else the rub, right?
So you were sexually assaulted.
Wow, you didn't get the reach around. That's all it was.
Hold on, there's a phone number for this. Let me get you.
So giving someone the rub is like a wrestling term for people that don't know. It means like you're going to put someone over, right?
That's not the way he's using it.
Well, that's exactly the way I'm using it. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
But here's the thing: if they're willing to try and put you over, and they don't want you to put them over, then fuck them.
Yeah,
right.
Let them put you over.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Go into Harvey Weinstein's hotel room. Like you're gonna be like, what's the problem? What's the problem? You're in the biz, man.
Well, listen, speaking of Harvey Weinstein's hotel room, one of the things he did not have there was video games. And right now,
that's the worst segue ever.
Jay,
ever.
This is gonna be great
in the history of segue.
But it's fucking creative.
Was it? Oh, was it?
Tom, I don't condone that marketing tactic of Harvey Weinstein and my product.
Listen, I paid no money for that. There's no kickbacks I'm getting from that. Nothing. Nothing.
Harvey Weinstein didn't have video games, but I do. God damn it!
Jay was like, I was there and I was pissed. He was, my knees were hurting, and I was like, give me a GameCube controller at least.
Let me have fun here. All right, Tom. So you want to show everybody where they touched me?
Oh, jeez.
I got to double down. Come on, I got to double down on the bad stuff. But I apologize, Tom. Let's talk about this for a second, brother.
Yeah. Just launched a couple of hours ago. Okay. 3 hours ago. This is one of our little mini campaigns. We've done a couple of these throughout the year. It's our BDI 365 initiative, where we take some of the crazy, weird holidays that are on the calendar, like Batman Day is this weekend, right? So every day on the calendar is some sort of weird day, and today happens to be Video Games Day. So what we're doing is this is a little short story, a little 8-page story, using our Camp Crossover storytelling thing, where we take all of our characters out of their normal habitats and send them to summer camp. So it's sort of like the old 80s Meatballs camp movies, things like that. And this one specifically revolves around essentially taking all of these characters to an arcade and sort of a little 80s nostalgia throwback. And it's a very small campaign. There's only 4 covers. There's a bunch of back issue stuff that you can get as well. But it's just 4 covers. We did this with Pillow Fight Day in April, which was a huge success. We're already almost 60-70% funded in just a few hours. So there's the page that kind of gives you the idea of what we do, what this looks like. It's going to be an 8-page story. Has an homage to an old 80s movie, which if you don't see what it is already, I can't help you. And it has the first appearance of a new character for Big Dog Inc. as well in this story. So that's it. So there's your basic cover. There's your logo cover by Keith Garvey. And then this is what we call the multiplayer set. So you've got the 3-piece connecting set by Brian Peterson and Elenia DiNapoli, and you get the logo edition as well with it. You can just get it all in one click. And then if you like the fancy stuff, we have the Virgin covers, which is actually also a patch. So in the first version, she's playing Centipede. In this one, we made her play Jungle Hunt because she's the Jungle Girl. And then there's the Virgin edition, there's the holofoil edition, and then there's the holofoils of the 3-piece set as well. And that's it. That's the campaign for new covers. Everything else is add-ons. So we have a handful of these, like these guys, these standees that we do right here. We got a handful of those left. We did 100 of them last year, and we've got a handful of them left. So you can get some of those. And then these are the back issues. So this is one of the books we did earlier in the year, BDI 365. This is Alien Abduction Day. We got a handful of those left. We have Princess Day. This was our 360-degree set that we did with Brian Peterson. We got a handful of these left. This is World Goth Day. So we have issues 1 and 2 for World Goth Day. Here is the original Camp Crossover book we did in 2021. And then this is the few remaining copies of Camp Crossover number 2 that we've got there. So you can grab those as well. And then, of course, there's all of our links at the bottom. Wherever you do your social media, click on any of those things and we'll come up, and you can follow us wherever you're at. And that's it. This is a short campaign. We're going to end this on Sunday night. And everything's very, very limited. So the basic cover, there's only 150 copies. The multiplayer set right there, there's only 50 of those sets. So everything is super, super limited. And the last time we did this with Pillow Fight Day, we sold out of almost everything on the entire campaign. So if you see something you like, don't wait.
So as long as a few hours ago, you said you were at 85%? No, 65%?
So we're at 60, 70%, something like that. I don't know what that percentage is. I can tell you. Okay. This will tell me. 65% we're at right now. 65%. So yeah. So we have a chance to we'll probably wrap that up overnight. Get to 5,000, and then starting tomorrow, we'll start trying to unlock some stretch goals. I have all these free digital comics that Tyler gave me.
Tyler's getting squat.
And continuing with the theme of things that also were not in Harvey Weinstein's hotel room, we're gonna show this over here. We got Calderon's book, Magi's Grace, Sex and Monsters. You want to fill us in a little bit there, brother?
Well, if you like H.P. Lovecraft meets Bram
or if you
Stoker,
like sex,
or if you like sex with monsters, yes, it's all going to be in there, wrapped in an episode of Supernatural. This is what you got. You got Magi's Grace.
Now I got questions for JD about this campaign, because this has been the most interesting campaign I've seen in a long time.
Okay.
Because what we got, right? And I need to know how your experiment is going, because I remember you talking about going this route a while ago, months ago, that you were going to tap into the sort of, not necessarily bad girl, but the sex appeal, the female lead, and you went after some of the names, right, that we're all sort of familiar with.
We got Lena Dye.
So my question to you is, now that you've tapped into this world, you got an Elsie Freitas, you got Lena Dye, you got whoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it everything you thought it would be, or has your opinion now on sort of like the sexy bad girl TNA covers changed at all?
Well, here's the thing. You guys had warned me. You guys had said it's going to take work, right? I remember you guys told me, and I was like, okay. And I listened to that, and I knew it. It was going to take work, so I have to work it. So has my opinion changed? Not really. But it's work like anything else. You have to sit down. You got to promote it. You got to push. You got to push and push.
So I remember when I saw your campaign initially, you had this image here as your title image, like up at the thumb there, right?
Yeah.
And I so bad wanted to message you and say wrong image. I wanted to interfere in your work, and I didn't. But what I would have, now that we're having the conversation, what I would have told you to use was the Joel Souza image coming out of the gate.
Okay.
You think
Where's
so?
Joe Souza?
Oh, absolutely.
Scroll down.
Dude, I would have done the same thing as JD. I'm not saying one's right or wrong, but I think I would have done the same thing as JD. I would have put that Let It Die cover on.
Well, yeah, Lene Dye is sort of the name, so you kind of need to use that to some degree to get a little bit of promotion out of the name. But I'm also a big fan of changing that image throughout the campaign.
Yeah.
I will continuously change the image,
But
so it's always looking different.
Leading coming out of the gate, day one, I would not have had that green chick up there. I would have put the Joe Souza piece up.
Okay. I mean that's interesting.
That's just a personal thing. I just think it's like out of all the images you got right here, that one might be one of the better ones that sort of emphasize what this could be, you know?
Mhm.
It's fun, it's cartoony, it's got that Bruce Timm style that he brings.
I would have done the nude one as well, and then you roll the dice with Kickstarter. How fast can they take this down?
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
And then you were having updates, right? So you were putting updates in, I think, a couple of times that essentially end up being at the start of your campaign instead of in the update section, which took away from the initial campaign itself, because now you're seeing 2 updates before you even got to the core of the campaign.
That's
I don't know what that
interesting.
means.
Okay.
Yeah.
So scroll up. All the way up. And maybe it's not on this one. I thought I saw it on this one because it's something that I see people do. Like they'll update, and right here there'll be the updates, and then you scroll down, and then it's like okay, where the actual start of the campaign would be, And I don't understand this either, right? This is another thing that I want to talk to you about. Why are your covers not in order? So why are you starting off with that instead of cover A, then cover B, then cover C, then cover D?
I actually went by what I thought would be the most appealing cover. I went with that one first.
Okay, you need to put them in order, in my opinion, right? Because now people are getting mixed up. Well, which is cover A? And I know they're labeled, but people are dumb, right? So, if they're not in order, people can get mixed up.
Well, I was talking with Pat Shand, and he actually said that, and I mean, this is just Pat Shand's opinion. But he said that he thinks that this style of stuff with the image and saying this is cover A, he says that it's almost it's almost useless now because the rewards now have pictures. So you just need to have just an image that says this is the cover A, but you don't need to put the dollar amount or who you can just put that, and that's what I paid for him to do a critique of my campaigns and other Kickstarter campaigns.
I'll disagree about the price. I think that people will scroll through this stuff and they want to see the price. I think the price is fine, but you don't have to be labeling these things cover A, B, C, D, E. That's irrelevant information to them. All they need to see is what is that cover? I like it. How do I
let me find it on the
side?
rewards?
Yeah,
Well, but that's how you find. You go, cover A, then you go over to the side and you go, oh, there's cover A. I mean, it's a really simple process.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the best cover in the group.
The Johnny Segura cover. I mean, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's representative of the main characters. Shows you using magic, right?
JD, what's the girl's name?
Grace.
And so it's the red guy whose name that's who Magi actually is, right?
That's a Magi, yeah. So if you go, so he's the guy in the background.
So who's the main character? Is it Grace or is it Magi?
It's the 2 of them. It's a team book. So it's Magi's Grace. So it's the 2 of them together. So keep scrolling, Jay. Go to this one. So that's the 2 of them right there. Stop. Let's go back.
Damn it, Jay.
There you go. Right there. So there you go. That's the team. That's Magi and that's Grace. So it's a team book. It's a team effort. The two of them are monster hunters. She's a sorceress, and he's an ex-vet that hunts monsters. On his
I already knew this, by the way, because you told me yesterday. I just wanted you to say it on stream. I already knew all that.
And then it's illustrated by C. Michael Lanning.
On is that your pages, you can't really get a good look. I don't like it Kickstarters where the pages are that small. I like to put the full page up, 3 or 4 pages. That's the full thing, not in these little boxes. You know what I mean? Then you get a really good look at the art. You know
what's funny? The reason I started doing this like this is because I would just have. It comes from Oswald, where I'm doing 2 books usually. This is just 1 issue, but with Oswald, I'm doing 2 books, and then when I put 1 page at a time, I have 8 pages up for 1 issue, and 8, and the scroll just.
Yeah, but you're putting too many
forever.
pages. Don't even do 8. Do anywhere. My advice to people is 3 to 5. That's it.
Mm.
Don't want to give away too much, man. You know what I mean?
No,
I think this is the best cover out of the whole bunch. And I'm not trying to knock anybody because I can't illustrate for anything. But
well, Johnny's out there. He's looking for work, bro.
Well, that's the great thing about variants, so right? And people are like, why do you have 10 variants? I'm like, it's like if you go into, you know, a corner store and you're looking at the chocolate bars. Are you always going to buy the same bar, or do you like variety? Right. You know what I mean? So you can come to a campaign. If you only have one cover and that cover doesn't grab that person, they're out, right? Covers are what sells the book. You go to a comic book shop, that's what's going to sell your book, right? If you have 10 covers, they might go, oh, I don't like A, B, or C, but hell, that cover D by John Stinsman, that really grabs me. Actually, I'll probably grab that one. So now that you eliminate the possibility of someone walking out the door because you have more variety from them to choose from.
Now, here's something interesting. I was on Tyler's show yesterday, and after the show, he gave me some very good advice.
Are you okay? Are you gonna blast this advice live?
No, I'm not gonna blast. I'm not gonna blast the advice.
Larry, I'm
not gonna blast the advice live. But what I will say is, we are utilizing it, and I have to say thank you.
Oh fuck yeah! You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, we want to know now, though.
Hold on, real quick. Shh.
What did you do? Just fart?
I came.
Well, look, you got 2 weeks left. You still got about a little over $1,000 to go. You're in the valley, I guess, right now. Right?
In the valley, yeah.
You're in the valley, so you can only go up from here.
Tyler, let me ask you this, because it drives me batshit when this happens. What do you think of having your logo in the picture? I hate it when there's no logo in the picture.
Yeah, I think it depends. I've done both with Super Plumber Sisters. Like there was. So like with Girl with the Megafist, like how I had optimized it, like there's no room for a logo with the ones that I did, but with Super Plumber Sisters, I always left room for it because I wanted that Mario colors, Nintendo colors.
Well, see that for me, I would think that the Super Plumber Sisters wouldn't need the logo because it's very self-explanatory. It's like, clearly.
Yeah,
and then your Girl with the Megafist, which is sort of a whatever we call it, an unknown IP, right?
Yeah,
that would have almost in my brain benefited by having the
I think to be fair, now that you've said this out loud, or where was this 20 days ago when my campaign was started? I was just I'm just thinking actually now that my Sexy Witch had the logo, my Super Plumber Sisters had the logo, and I'm like, I don't have the logo for Girl with the Megafist.
You should, because the logo is branding, right? You're going to scroll through someone's Kickstarter, like a Kickstarter page very quickly, and maybe you don't recognize that image right away. And, maybe you are a Girl with the Megafist fan, or maybe you heard of it and you're interested, and now you see a picture, you just kind of skim by it, as opposed to it saying Girl with the Megafist, and makes you stop. Oh, wait a minute, I think that's Tyler's book. Click.
I'll say, I think the reason why I haven't, though, is it's so hard. Like my Sexy Witch Academia, like, I paid someone. I was like, I don't know how to get this many words in a really like clean logo, so I paid someone to do it. Super Plumber Sisters was pretty easy. The Girl with the Megafist, I think, is like my worst logo that I've ever made because I just made it like in 2 seconds, and I was like, this is it. And it's just so not optimized for like. It goes like, the girl isn't tiny, with the is tiny, then Megafist is big, and so like the like if you're looking at it on a phone, you're like the.
It's kind of like what I got going on over here with my next book opening up on Kickstarter within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Shield of the Interceptors coming back. Superhero story. We got issues 1 through 5 launching in the next few weeks. So that's my next book coming out.
Logo.
There's my logo.
I'll tell you this, Jay.
There's a little bit of flash of some of the other books you can get in the campaign, all in the main cover image of the campaign.
And I hate that, Jay. I'm going to rag on JD. I'm going to rag on Tyler. I'm going to rag on you.
So rag on me.
Yeah. Take those fucking images out. Those little 3 things down there.
Really?
Get that shit out of there. It's pointless. It's too small. That big motherfucker right there. That's what you need.
Blow him up.
You can make him bigger. Take that Shield of the Interceptor. Take it right down in the middle and center it with that red line going right across the middle. And
take the red line out completely.
I would leave the red line in. But you could remove it.
I like the red line.
Yeah. I like the red line though, but take out those things because they're too small. Everyone's your logo is great. It's like bam, and then the dude is right there, bam. Like that's your fucking grab. You don't need those little things in the bottom.
So if you look at your advanced,
hold on, go back. You don't need the Unstoppable comics in there twice either.
No. One
No,
is
that's because of his StreamYard.
yeah.
thing.
One is because of
Oh,
the screen
okay.
over here. You see, that's the overlay, baby.
So with
Oh, I know.
Kickstarter's advanced analytics as well, I went to look at it to see if they have this data point because of what Larry said about JD's pages. At least for my campaigns, I just looked at all of my campaigns. 50% of backers back my book via a mobile device. And so they always whenever you do YouTube, they always say before you even film your idea, make a thumbnail. And once you have your thumbnail, you make it the size of the phone because most people are watching YouTube videos on their phone. And so if 50% of people are backing your book via Kickstarter and they're scrolling through your phone, are they going to be able to see the page?
No, they're not gonna be able to see that shit.
Yeah, and so the same thing with the thumbnail. They're gonna, if they look at Jay's thumbnail, they're not even gonna see those three covers on the right hand corner via a phone. Okay. So just like that's stuff that I do with my thumbnails is I make it and then I zoom out super tiny and go, can I what the fuck is even this?
Just let that logo just tell the story, man. Boom, right there.
Dude, should I tell JD? Should I tell them my cover thing that I do with my red line cover?
Yeah, that's a good one, man. I really like that.
All right, before you do that, let me show Larry's goods and then we.
Oh shit, Jay! Wait, I want to share some goods too. You want to share my goods?
We're all sharing goods, man.
Of course.
Okay, let me get dressed.
Here we go. What's up, Larry?
That's exactly what Niobe's coming to Whatnot. What? That's right. Whatnot. What? That's right, man. We're coming to Whatnot Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern every week now. I went through the painstaking process of applying the Whatnot, going through all their red tape and their hoops. I even had to do a 45-minute live seminar. Like I was like in a virtual classroom with an instructor.
Oh my God.
Today, going over how Whatnot actually works. So we're going to do this. I find myself, me and Tyler have become, not by choice, but by circumstance, full-time creators right now. And so, one of the things you guys have brought up was, finding revenue from other sources outside of Kickstarter, right? And last night we had Tyler in our private chat, and I was like hounding Tyler, like, what are other places I can go to sell my comic? And he brought up things like Amazon and website and email list. One of the things I am going to try, though, is the actual sales of Whatnot. So we're going to have rare covers. Some of the rare Niobe stuff will be there. I'm going to have the slabs, little print runs. We are bringing the sexy bad girl action to Whatnot on Thursday night at 9 p.m. So if you are on Whatnot, follow me at Niobe Comics on Whatnot. Join us, and we're going to see how this initial stream. And I'll also announce that Max DeVille is also going to be on Whatnot, and we're going to be doing back-to-back shows. I don't know if that's going to start this Thursday, but it will start. So he'll go live, then I go live, and it'll be a little bit of cross-pollination happening there on Whatnot.
Nice. At what time? 9 p.m.
Eastern. On Thursday nights every week. We're going to go there. We're going to do some auctions. We're going to sell some books. I already got 20 items selected. And it's not just going to be Niobe stuff, by the way. I got lots of stuff here that I want to downsize a little bit that I'm going to be offering up for grabs. So there you go.
Nice.
Okay.
Now, the seminar, do you think it helped you?
I mean, it was all right in the sense of like you getting the fast track of information, all the basics. Like, here's how you make a listing. Here's how the shipping works. Then she was available for like Q&A for a little bit, not too long, but I got to ask some basic questions. But yeah, I mean, it's more like it's not even a helpful thing for me. I mean, I'm a smart guy. I can go through this and figure this out, which I will be doing tonight. When I leave here, my rest of the night is probably me creating, because you can do like a private stream, like a test Whatnot stream, just to make sure everything works first, right? Nice. So I'm gonna be putting together my test stream tonight. Probably me and Max once he wakes up. All
right, and we also have a little bit of
hey, that's me.
Something else that wasn't in Harvey's hotel room. You got to keep the theme, brother. You know what I mean?
Man. Yeah,
we can't knock it for anybody. But let's go through it, Tyler.
Yeah, this is the Girl with the Mega Fist. It's the fourth. We're kickstarting the fourth volume. However, if you are a new backer, don't be scared to jump into the series. We have 2 volume 1 tiers. We have a digital $5 volume 1 tier and a $14 physical volume 1 tier. Each of these books are over 200 pages. It's the best deal in indie comics. 200-page book for $15. And yeah, it's a super epic story. It's about a girl who's been chosen by the gods to protect Earth and to wield the Megafists, and she's fighting against love and destiny. She's been told she has to choose between two twin brothers who she's going to bring down to protect Earth with. Is she going to choose the one who's strongest? Is she going to choose the one that has her heart? And so we kind of actually already answered that question, the final page of the 3rd volume, and then we're now volume 4 is the conclusion of this like massive fight that we set up in volume 3, and then the last page of volume 4, she goes down to Earth, and the rest of the series is about her time on Earth.
Tyler, that's not a hook.
So she's got massive tits in the cover.
No, what I'm saying is that video that you posted earlier, Buddy's like, that's not a hook, man.
Oh, no, fuck that guy. After that guy made that video about me today, I actually like messaged him like an hour later, and we did a podcast. So like we talked for an hour, and I'm going to air it next Monday.
So was he looking for the rub?
So he's from South Africa, and so like we were able to connect on that because I lived there for a couple of years.
Okay.
And the conversation went from like both of us really angry at each other to like I like long-form conversations. I like talking because you can eventually find common ground. And so what eventually happens is because then you can finally understand each person's side. So by the end of the conversation, I understood where he was coming from. I just told him, I said, hey, basically he made a video saying, hey, indie comic, like, so you know how I do my tweets, I'll do a generic, like the reason why I think indie creators books are suffering is because they're generic. That's just a general like thing, like throw it out. The way he did it was, I think indie comic creators struggle because their books are generic. For example, look at Tyler's shit, and then he spends 10 minutes talking about my. Then he spends 10 minutes talking about my.
What he ended up doing was he said that you need to take your indie book and put it against Batman to see how they look compared to each other. Basically, was what it was.
False.
Right? Yeah. Don't worry, I'm doing a whole video on it when we're done.
Wow.
But that's what he was basically doing. So like, if your stuff doesn't compare to what I'm buying at my LCS on the shelf, then you're not good enough to be placed there. It's sort of vibe.
It was and keep in mind, like this was, and like this is why I did that. I reached out because I don't want to just flame this person. I'd like to get like when JD tweets at me and says I disagree, I'm not going to flame JD. I'm going to go, right? JD, let's talk about this face to face. So like I reached out to this person. I go, let's talk about, like, I want to know where you're coming from at this. And really what it came down to, and we said it a bunch, is like, you're clearly new. You don't understand. You live in Africa, so you don't even understand the Western industry. You said things in the video like you like, this guy lives in America. Just walk over to Image and give him your submissions. I'm like, you like, so like your understanding of the industry is completely, you have no idea. And also, like, he has these standards of what a creator should do and act like, and like what their work should symbolize. And I'm totally fine with people having that, but don't put what you believe in onto me or others, because I don't believe in what you believe in. And so his point of he was basically saying, hey, I did it because I thought everyone else held the same standards as me. And I'm like, no, what you're going to find out in the scene is that every person we all think that we're all on the same path. We're actually all not. Like, every single person that's above me in this stream is doing something that I probably won't ever do in my comic journey. And they're probably going to do the same thing they're probably going to look at the things that I do and go, I'm not going to do that. And so I can't go, Jay, how come you're not doing this? Well, maybe Jay doesn't want to do this. And I shouldn't make a video saying, fuck this guy for thinking that like what his road is a good idea. It's not. Everyone should be doing it my way. And so that was the crux of the video. We had a great conversation. It was funny because at the end I was like, I love everything that you say. Just don't ever bring my name up again. Like, you can say what you say, just don't attack other creators in the process.
Right. Now, one of the things you were talking about, you mentioned was, not doing what I would be doing or somebody else would be doing. And I see, some of the guys are saying, hey, put the logo in the cover image, and we don't got it here. Yeah, you're on your own path, baby. And
But maybe I think you know what. But tonight you guys are gonna wake up in the morning. You're gonna see a fucking logo there, and you're gonna see 1,000 backers go up because they're gonna go, oh, this comic has a logo.
Well, I think at this point it doesn't really matter for you, but you are going to see your campaign go up because now you're into your last final 3 days.
I'm not,
right?
Larry, and I'll tell you why.
why?
I'm an analytics person. The
Okay.
analytics of all my campaigns are always by day 3, I am at 20% conversion rate, and then by the end of the campaign, because of those last 2 or 3 days kick in, I always get up to 30 to 35%. Okay, that's the spike.
I think you're going to finish at 17 grand.
But here's the thing. That's fair. That's fine. My thing is this. I am already at 45% converted.
Fair enough. But
So that's a great conversion rate, but I'm not getting any new followers. And
people wait to the last minute to back on Kickstarters, and do you know why?
But no, you're not getting what I'm saying. People,
I'm saying you study analytics, and I'm telling you I don't believe in analytics. I throw them out the window.
Well,
and I'll tell you why I do that, because I work in a call center for the last 20 years in call center industry, and everything we do is analytic based, especially when it comes to call flow and how many calls we're expecting that night. And I can tell you that shit is never accurate. It always fumbles. Okay, they can think like, oh, okay, we're going to have X amount of calls, and we get half of that. So their predictions and their analytics.
Well, then you have bad. You have bad people
But that's
doing your
across the
data.
board,
Your
right?
data. That like
See,
that's
you're trying to datalize is what I call this, the impulsive actions of people, right?
No. Because with Kickstarter in the dashboard it says project followers, and then you only get that spike when the amount of project followers they will then get an email saying, hey, there's only 48 hours left. There are only 24 hours left. So what I'm saying is mine always ends at 35%.
Just because it always does doesn't mean I have a feeling you're going to get a boost at the end because of two things. A, because the financial crunch. People wait now, okay? People wait to the last minute because they know that they want to know when their money is coming out of their account. If you go back on Indiegogo, you get charged right away. On Kickstarter, you don't. So if I back your project on day 1, that means I got to wait 30 days now before that money comes out of my account. And I might forget that I even pledged. Okay. And this is why we get a lot of drop backers, by the way, because then they have what's called buyer's remorse halfway through, right? So they wait to the last minute to go ahead and back because they know that money is going to come out in the next few days because Kickstarter's going to go, boom, okay, campaign over, we're going to charge everyone.
But my so you're right, that's buying habit. But what I'm saying with the looking at the analytics and like JD said, he says I think it'll end at 20, and you know what, we're rooting for JD. I hope his prediction's right. The reason why I'm looking at it is my project followers are very small.
Well, if we're going to do analytics, let's look at KickTrack and see what KickTrack predicts for you.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
but it only goes by the day, right? It takes what's been happening throughout the whole.
Yeah, ClickTrack.
It does take account the whole campaign, right? But it also takes into account the trends that it sees. So, what it doesn't take into account is the possibility that Tyler's going to have a spike at the end. So, well, actually, it kind of does, because what it does is it will give you a low end prediction and a high end prediction.
So, like I told JD last night, I think my campaign's going to end at 16.
Well, I'm going to bring it up on KickTrack, and we're going to see.
Well, you know what? Before we go on KickTrack, let me ask this, because I want to wrap this up. I got to work tomorrow. But does anybody know or heard of anyone that has hit 50 or 60% in converted followers?
That's what I'm saying. I've only ever talked with people who have hit max 30 to 35%. And so the fact that I have a 45% conversion rate to me is just it tells me, and here's the thing, I hit 10K back $1,000 in the first 48 hours, which tells me I have just a rock solid fan base of the series. But after that, this has been the most dead campaign I've ever experienced. And so that tells me that I converted, I've had a 40% this entire campaign, which tells me I have hardcore followers who backed immediately, and I'm not getting new followers, and I'm not getting those people who are going to go, oh, last minute, let me let me check this out the last 3 days. So the fact that I'm at 45%, the way to get that massive spike that we look at, I will have to cross that 50% threshold, because even 1%, that's maybe like an extra like $200, $300. It's just not going to do that. It's not going to have that normal, like my last spike was like $6,000.
So here's Tyler's trend, right? This is the prediction. And as you get closer to the end, I find this gets more and more accurate. So right now it's predicting Tyler at 15,390 on the low end. He's going to surpass that. That's not a worry. At the high end, it's predicting 16,287. What it doesn't know is the spike that's likely to happen. It happens with almost every campaign, almost every person runs. Okay, so you get this initial spike right here. Boom, that's your day one sort of opener, and then you kind of see his hill isn't steep. Right? This is an easy bike ride if you're going uphill, right? It's slow, it's steady, it's there. Yeah, there's a little bit of dips here and there. But when he gets over here to this last couple of lines, he's going to have another steep climb.
So here's the thing. I'm being a pessimist, obviously. I'm being a pessimist. I want you guys to be right. I want there to be this massive,
massive. It'll be about half the size of this, maybe 3/4.
All right. Well, I hope you hit it. All right.
I hope I do.
Yeah.
But I'm also preparing myself to be like it. And because let me tell you guys something. With all my drop pledges in the last 2 days, if I didn't have those, I'd be at like 18 grand right now.
Here's Tyler's pledges per day. So as you can see, his first day, as like everyone's first day, boom, 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 right? So his first 2 days, pretty good openers. Then what we have is the dreaded dead zone. Your honeymoon period is over after your third day. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now you're struggling. This is where the real work comes in, because everyone who's going to back you, who's excited, has already done it in the first 3 days. Now you're struggling going on shows. You're pumping out your book on social media, whatever it is you can do to try and just get these little bumps here. And then what you hope, and he even lost 1, 2 here, 2 here. But at the end, you hope again that you start getting the towers to come back at the end. A lot of people now, what they're doing, and Tom is a good example of this, is that they're eliminating some of this dead period by just taking it out completely out of their campaign by doing 3-week campaigns. Hell, Max DeVille is now talking about doing 2-week campaigns.
That's interesting. I will message you guys at the end, and I'll say, hey, I hit this much percentage, because like I said, I don't know. Like, I'm sure there are obviously people who hit over 50%. I don't know any of them.
You see, I love to talk business. I love to talk analytics. I love to get egg thrown on my face. I have no problem with any of that at all. So you're all welcome to come back again. All right, as we wrap this up. Larry, where can they find you, brother?
Under a rock, drunk somewhere, crying. No, it's Niobe Comic pretty much on every social media at this point. I've made a great efforts to, change everything from Rebel Comics over the past few years to Niobe Comics. You can find me on Whatnot on Thursday night, as I sort of labeled. But thank you for having me on. But I want also to extend the invitation to you guys, especially JD, yourself, guys that got campaigns currently running right now, to come on my show. I got a lot of free time on my hands right now, so let me know when you guys want to do a show before your campaigns close out, and we'll just go ahead and do it.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Cool. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Tyler, where can they find you, dude?
Find me at youtube.com/drawandtalk. You can find me on Twitter at Tyler_C_world. Those are the only 2 places I'm active.
My man. Calderon.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those places. And the JD Calderon, the OswaldChronicles.com, TallTalesOnline.com, and Kickstarter, and Sunday nights on YouTube under JD Calderon, or Indie Comics Can Explain, where I show up with that other crazy guy over there, Mr. J.
Tom.
Basically, just look for this wherever you are. Big Dog Inc. We're kind of across all the platforms. We kind of live on Facebook. Everything kind of starts here and then disseminates outwards. But Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, all the things. And we're $1,500 away from funding Video Games Day. We just launched this thing 4 hours ago, so we're doing well. And it's going to end on Sunday night. I'll be with these fools doing Sunday night. We'll see how that plays out.
All right.
Nice.
And I want to thank everybody who has joined us this evening. I want to thank everybody who has been watching this evening. And I hope all of you out there who are making books get to achieve everything you want.
Oh, I
and
don't.
This is where you
I
can
don't want to be
find
part of that.
Good night, everybody.